The door slams like a gunshot. Alina stands in the doorway, drenched from the rain, clutching Max's phone. The screen glows, a photo of Max, her fiancé, kissing a blonde in a club bathed in neon lights. It's 2:47 a.m. Max leaps out of bed in his boxers, his face pale. "Alina, it's not what you think," he yells, his voice trembling like a caught thief. She hurls the phone to the floor, the screen cracking. "You're lying," her words slice the air. She doesn't cry, her eyes burn with fury. She knows more than he thinks. Hours earlier, she found a key in his jacket, a key to an apartment that isn't theirs. Her heart pounded as she recalled how Max had been dodging her gaze, hiding his phone, coming home smelling of foreign perfume. She didn't want to believe it, but her gut screamed, something's wrong. Alina cracked his phone's password using the date of their first date, an irony she'd savor later. In the gallery was the photo, Max and the blonde, lips locked, the neon viper sign flashing behind them. She didn't wait for excuses. She called a taxi and raced home, ignoring his calls. Rain battered the windows as she gripped the key, its cold biting her skin. She imagined Max laughing at her, planning their wedding, promising Bali, while the thought of sharing a bed, a life, a dream with him made her sick. Her fingers squeezed the key until her knuckles whitened. She knew, this wasn't a mistake, not a fluke. It was betrayal. Now, standing before him, Max stammers excuses. "She's just a friend, it's Photoshop, you got it wrong." But Alina sees his trembling hands, his darting eyes. She remembers his promises, his "I love you," his jokes about their future. Every word now feels like poison. She pulls the key from her pocket. "What's this?" Max freezes, his eyes trapped. "You're not even trying to lie well," she snaps, storming out, the door slamming behind her. Outside, rain soaks her face, but she doesn't feel the cold. She slides into her car, gripping the wheel. Her mind ticks like a clock, she won't let Max get away with this. She's no victim. She's a storm brewing. The engine roars, and she drives into the night, knowing this is just the beginning. Her goal is the truth, and she'll unearth it, even if it means tearing their life apart. One thought echoes, "You'll regret this, Max." She doesn't know what lies ahead, but she's certain, there's no going back. A week ago, Alina still believed Max was her ideal. They planned their wedding, picked out dresses, laughed over Bali brochures. But something shifted. Max grew distant, his smile forced. One evening, she noticed he'd changed his phone's password. "Just updated it, no big deal," he said, his fingers tapping nervously on the table. Alina brushed it off, blaming stress. But that night, as he slept, his phone lit up with a message. She didn't catch it, but the name, Alina, burned into her memory. The next day, Max stayed late at work. Alina waited until midnight, the clock ticking in their empty apartment. When he returned, he smelled not of his cologne but of something sweet, vanilla. "Got held up with clients," he mumbled, avoiding her eyes. Alina nodded, but a chill settled in her chest. She started noticing details. Max hid his phone when she entered, snapped his laptop shut if she came near. Once, she found a ticket to a party at Neon Viper, in his jacket, a place he'd never invited her to. "Were you at a club?" she asked over breakfast. Max choked on his coffee. "What?" "No, probably a friend's." His eyes darted like a kid caught lying. Alina didn't press but noted the club's name. She recalled other odd moments, Max suddenly wearing new shirts, his work meetings ending past midnight, his avoidance of wedding talk. Her trust melted like ice in a glass. Alina checked his Instagram. In his friend Tanya's stories, a blonde laughed beside Max. Alina messaged Tanya, "Who's that girl?" Tanya replied fast, "What, you're paranoid." "Just a friend." But Alina sensed Tanya was holding back. She scrolled Tanya's profile and found an old party photo where the same blonde held Max's hand. Caption, "Best company." Alina's heart clenched. She didn't want to believe it, but doubt gnawed at her. She watched Max closer. He always placed his phone face down, his laugh turned nervous when she joked about their future. One evening, while he showered, Alina checked his jacket. Besides the ticket, there was a small vial of perfume, that same vanilla scent. Her hands shook, but she put everything back. Sleep eluded her that night. She imagined Max with another woman, laughing at her trust. Her thoughts buzzed, who's Alina? What's he hiding? She knew she wouldn't stop until she had answers. Closing her eyes, Alina vowed, she'd figure it out. And if Max betrayed her, he'd pay. Her heart beat to the rhythm of revenge, the start of her war. Alina trusted Max, but the vanilla perfume on his shirt haunted her. So she dug deeper. She remembered Alina from the message and searched social media. In Tanya's profile, Alina found another photo, the blonde, the same one holding Max's hand, tagged as @Alina_Viper. Alina clicked, but the profile was private. Her fingers trembled as she hit follow. She knew it might tip Alina off, but she didn't care. The next day, Max acted like nothing was wrong. He kissed her cheek, joked about wedding cakes, but she saw him check his phone when he thought she wasn't looking. Alina waited until he left for a client meeting and opened his laptop. He'd forgotten to log out of iCloud. In his messages, she found a chat with Alina. Waiting for you Friday, you know where. Bring champagne, she wrote. Alina snapped a photo of the chat, her blood pounding in her temples. She didn't stop. In his cloud photos, she found a folder labeled work. No documents, just dozens of selfies with the blonde. In one, they kissed in a club, in another, they laughed in bed. Alina felt nausea rise but forced herself to continue. She downloaded every photo. Each image was a blow, but it made her stronger. Alina checked Alina's Instagram again. The profile was now open. Alina must have accepted her request. Alina scrolled through stories, parties, champagne, Max laughing beside her. One showed them at Neon Viper, captioned, "My favorite." Alina saved the video. She knew this was just the tip of the iceberg, but each piece of evidence tightened the vice around her heart. When Max came home, Alina played normal. She cooked dinner, smiled, but her eyes tracked his every move. He seemed relaxed, but she noticed him check his phone's lock, hide his laptop in a drawer. "You're quiet today," she said, pouring wine. Max shrugged, "Just tired." But Alina knew, he was scared she suspected something. That night, she lay awake, staring at the ceiling, thinking of the photos, messages, Alina. She pictured Max planning their wedding while spending nights with another. Her anger grew, but she kept it leashed. Alina opened her phone's notes and wrote, "Find out who Alina is. Check Neon Viper." She knew this was her first step to the truth. Her mind was already plotting, cold and precise. She wasn't just seeking answers, she'd destroy Max's lies. Alina became a hunter. Every detail, every move Max made, was under her scrutiny. She no longer believed his words but played the loving fiancé. One morning, as Max left for work, she checked his laptop again. In a miscellaneous folder, she found a Neon Viper receipt for 2 cocktails, dated yesterday. Alina photographed it, adding to her evidence stash. Her heart ached, but anger prevailed. She analyzed his behavior. Max grew cautious. He deleted browser history, turned off phone notifications, but forgot the small things. Alina found a used taxi receipt in the trash with an unfamiliar address. She punched it into Google Maps, an upscale district Max never visited, for work. She jotted it down, feeling the puzzle pieces align. That day, she noticed Max bought a new cologne, the same one in Alina's photos. "Don't like my old one," he joked, but Alina just smiled. She knew it wasn't for her. That evening, as Max slept, she checked his wallet. Another receipt, for jewelry she'd never seen. Alina snapped a photo, her anger simmering. She went further. Alina created a fake Instagram account and followed Alina. In Alina's stories, Max danced with her, his hand on her waist. Alina saved the video but noticed something, the Neon Viper logo in the background. She realized the club was the key. Alina checked the club's website and saw a Friday party announcement. She knew Max would be there. She also checked their joint bank account. Odd transactions, hotel payments, restaurants, concert tickets, all on days Max was working. She copied the statements, adding to her arsenal. Her anger mixed with eerie calm, each piece of evidence strengthened her. She was no longer a victim, she was a strategist. When Max came home, Alina saw him nervously check his pockets. "Lost something?" she asked, chopping vegetables. He flinched, "No, just keys." But Alina knew he was scared. She saw him hide his phone in a drawer, lock his laptop. Her smile was icy, but Max didn't notice. He thought he was in control. That night, Alina lay in bed, planning her next move. She knew Friday's Neon Viper party was her chance. She imagined walking in, seeing Max with Alina, gathering final proof. Her fingers gripped her phone, where photos, videos, and receipts were stored. She was ready. Max thought she was blind, but Alina saw everything. Her revenge was only a matter of time. Alina no longer doubted, Max was cheating. But she needed ironclad proof. She installed a tracker on his phone via their shared cloud service. On Friday, when Max claimed a client meeting, the tracker showed him at Neon Viper. Adrenaline hit her temples. She slipped into a black dress, applied bold makeup, and called a taxi. Her plan was simple: see it with her own eyes. At the club, bass thumped, neon lights pulsed. Alina wove through the crowd, phone ready. She spotted Max in the VIP section, his arm around Alina's waist. The blonde laughed, holding a champagne flute. Alina hid behind a pillar and started recording. Her heart pounded, but her hands were steady. She captured Max kissing Alina, their whispered giggles. This was her jackpot. Alina didn't leave. She ordered a drink and watched. Alina stepped to the bar, and Alina approached the bartender. "Know that blonde?" she asked, slipping him 500 hryvnias. He nodded. "Alina? She's here often. With that guy, Max, they've been hanging out for months." Alina felt a knife twist in her chest but nodded. "Anything else?" she pressed. The bartender shrugged. "She's an escort, I think." Alina thanked him and melted back into the crowd. She checked Alina's Instagram from her fake account. A new story showed Max winking at the camera. Alina saved it. She also noticed Alina tagged another club nearby. Alina noted it, knowing it could be useful. Her mind worked like a computer, logging every detail. She wasn't just collecting evidence, she was building a case. Back home, Alina hacked Alina's private profile using the "forgot password" function. She found dozens of photos with Max, parties, hotels, even a trip out of town when Max claimed a business trip. Alina downloaded everything, her anger blending with triumph. She also found messages where Max promised Alina he'd dump his fiancé after the wedding and take Alina's savings. Alina sat in the dark, scrolling through her evidence. Each photo, each message was a brick in her wall. She knew Max thought she was clueless. He was wrong. Alina opened her laptop and created a Payback folder. She dumped everything in: club videos, screenshots, receipts, statements. Her fingers buzzed with adrenaline. When Max returned, Alina was asleep. He slid into bed quietly, thinking he was safe. But Alina knew, she was 3 steps ahead. Her eyes gleamed in the dark like a predator's. She wasn't just seeking truth, she was setting a trap. Friday was her first strike, but the real fight was coming. Alina waited for Max at home after his client meeting. She sat in the kitchen, wine glass in hand, her face calm but eyes blazing. When he walked in, she asked, "How were the clients?" Max flinched but flashed a grin. All good, just tired, he said, avoiding her gaze. Alina slid the Neon Viper receipt across the table. What's this? Her voice was cold as steel. Max paled. Where'd you get that? You went through my stuff? His voice cracked into a shout. Alina didn't blink. You didn't answer, she said, locking eyes. Max scrambled. It's not mine. Maybe a friend's. His hands shook, his gaze darted. Alina felt his panic. She stood, stepping closer. Think I'm stupid? Max went on the attack. You're the problem. Always with your paranoia. I'm working to provide for us, and you make scenes. His words stung, but Alina stood firm. She knew the truth, videos, photos, messages. But she didn't tip her hand. If I'm wrong, show me your phone, she said calmly. Max recoiled like she'd struck him. Seriously? You don't trust me, he yelled. Alina smiled, cold, almost predatory. You answered yourself. She turned and walked to the living room, leaving him frozen in the kitchen. Max shouted after her, You're ruining everything. You're crazy. But Alina tuned him out. She knew he was scared. His aggression was a mask, but she saw his fear. That night, she slept on the couch, plotting her next move. The next day, Max acted like nothing happened. He brought her coffee, tried to hug her, but Alina pulled away. She noticed him check his phone, hide his laptop. His nervousness was her victory. Alina knew he felt her strength but didn't grasp how far she'd gone. She kept up the act, but inside, she was gearing for war. She checked their bank account and saw a new transaction, a hotel payment, dated yesterday. She added it to her Payback folder. Her anger was no longer chaotic, it was sharp, like a blade. She pictured Max lying, laughing with Alina, planning to steal her savings. But he didn't know she was ahead. That evening, Max tried to smooth things over. Let's forget this nonsense, he said, holding her hand. But Alina saw his eyes, they lied. She nodded, but her mind was elsewhere. She imagined Max losing everything, job, friends, dignity. Her smile was venomous, and Max seemed to sense it. He let go and turned away. Alina knew, he was trapped, and she was tightening the noose. Alina became Max's shadow, but he didn't notice. She messaged the Neon Viper bartender on Instagram, offering 500 hryvnias for info. He confirmed, Alina was an escort, and Max was her regular client. They'd been at it for months, he even bragged about ditching his fiancé, he wrote. Alina felt the knife twist deeper but stayed calm. She thanked him and asked for updates. She returned to Alina's profile. Using her fake account, Alina found new stories, Max and Alina in a hotel, paid for by him. Alina saved a video where Alina showed off a new bracelet, the one from Max's receipt. She also saw Alina tag an apartment in the upscale district, the address from the taxi receipt. Alina knew it was their hideout. She checked Max's cloud storage. He thought he'd deleted everything, but he forgot backups. There were intimate photos with Alina, dated years back. The betrayal wasn't spontaneous, it spanned their entire relationship. Alina downloaded them, her anger turning to icy resolve. She also found messages where Max wrote to Alina, after the wedding, I'll take her money, and we'll leave. It was the final straw. Alina opened her laptop and added the new evidence to Payback. She had enough to destroy Max, but she wanted more. She contacted a friend who worked at a local gossip blog, asking if they could post an anonymous story. Her friend agreed, give me something juicy. Alina promised. She also checked their joint account. Max had transferred 10,000 to an unknown account, likely Alina's. Alina snapped a photo and contacted the bank to freeze the account. She acted carefully so Max wouldn't suspect. Her mind was a chessboard, every move calculated. When Max came home, Alina saw his nerves. He checked his phone, hid his wallet, even locked his laptop drawer. "Something wrong?" she asked, pouring him coffee. Max shrugged, "Just work." But Alina saw sweat on his temples. She knew he felt her gaze, her power. That night, Alina lay awake, plotting. She knew Max feared public shame. She imagined his life crumbling, jobless, friendless, disgraced. Her fingers gripped her phone, holding her evidence. She was ready to strike but waited for the perfect moment. Max thought he was safe, but Alina had him by the throat. Her revenge was inevitable, and she savored every second of the buildup. Max began to suspect Alina knew something. He grew paranoid, deleted messengers, cleared browser history, changed his cloud password. But he forgot about backups. Alina found new photos with Alina, dated weeks earlier. In one, Max held a key, the one from his jacket. Alina realized, it was for their secret apartment. Her anger flared, but she stayed composed. She checked the taxi receipt's address, an upscale downtown building. Alina drove there during the day, knowing Max was at work. She knocked, posing as a courier. The woman who answered was Alina. Alina recognized her instantly, blonde, vanilla perfume, the bracelet from the receipt. "Wrong address," Alina said, but Alina snapped a photo. Back home, Alina added it to her folder. She had everything: videos, messages, receipts, transactions, even the hideout's address. But Max grew more paranoid. He checked locks, hid items, even watched Alina when he thought she didn't notice. One evening, he exploded. "You went through my stuff," he yelled, grabbing her phone. Alina calmly took it back. "Got something to hide?" Max lost it. "You're insane. You're ruining everything. I can't live like this." He stormed out, slamming the door. Alina didn't cry. She sat at her laptop, opened Payback. Her fingers buzzed with adrenaline. She knew Max was panicking, and it suited her. His fear was her weapon. She contacted a lawyer to secure her savings. The lawyer advised transferring funds to a separate account and freezing the joint one. Alina did it that night, leaving Max pennies. She also sent her friend at the gossip blog more evidence, asking her to wait for the signal. "This'll blow up," her friend said. Alina nodded. She wanted the hit to be devastating. When Max returned, he was quieter. "Let's talk," he said, sitting beside her. But Alina saw his eyes. They lied. She nodded, but her mind was elsewhere. She pictured Max losing everything: job, friends, dignity. Her smile was faint, but Max flinched. He sensed something was off but couldn't pinpoint it. That night, Alina stared into the dark. She knew the climax was near. Her evidence was ready, her plan flawless. Max thought he controlled the game, but Alina held all the cards. She closed her eyes, envisioning his fall. Her heart beat steadily, like a clock counting down to payback. She was ready to strike, hard. Alina was no longer a victim. She sat at her desk, scrolling through Payback. Photos, videos, messages, transactions, everything was set. Her anger had morphed into cold resolve. She didn't cry or tremble. She was a strategist, and Max was her target. She knew he feared public shame, and she'd use it. She called her lawyer and froze the joint account, moving her savings to her own. Max didn't notice, he was too busy panicking. Alina also contacted a realtor and listed their apartment for sale, registering it solely in her name. She knew Max had no legal claim, as it was her inheritance. Her moves were precise, like a surgeon's cuts. Alina sent her gossip blog friend the full evidence set: Neon Viper, videos, messages where Max planned to steal her money, photos with Alina. "Post it after my signal," she said. Her friend nodded. "This'll go viral." Alina also anonymously emailed Max's boss some evidence, knowing he'd be fired for unethical conduct. She'd changed. Alina ditched the dresses Max liked. She bought a leather jacket, cut her hair, her eyes gleaming with new strength. She pictured Max begging for forgiveness, but she'd give him none. Her plan was simple: destroy his life as he'd destroyed her trust. When Max came home, he tried to make amends. "I was a fool, let's start over," he said, holding roses. Alina took the flowers, but her eyes were empty. "Sure," she said, her voice venomous. Max didn't notice. He thought she was weak, that she'd forgive. But Alina was no longer the girl who believed his lies. That night, she lay awake, going over every step. She knew the restaurant would be her triumph. She pictured the guests freezing, Max losing everything. Her fingers gripped her phone, holding her evidence. She was ready. Alina no longer feared, she was a force Max couldn't stop. Her transformation was complete, from victim to hunter, her prey doomed. The day of the wedding rehearsal dinner arrived. The restaurant glowed with lights. Guests, Max's friends, family, colleagues, laughed over wine. Max sat at the center, grinning like a king. Alina stood beside him in a black dress, her eyes sharp as daggers. She raised a glass, "To our groom." The guests clapped, but Alina knew this was their last toast to him. She signaled the waiter, and a projector lit up behind her. The first image, Max kissing Alina at Neon Viper. The room fell silent. The second, messages where Max vowed to dump his fiancé. The third, a video of them laughing in a hotel. The guests whispered, Max went pale, his glass crashing to the floor. "Alina, what is this?" he stammered, but she only smiled. "The truth," she said, her voice cutting the silence. She showed receipts, transactions, photos from Alina's apartment. "Thought I wouldn't find out?" The guests turned away, his mother covered her face. Max tried to deflect, "It's Photoshop." "She's lying." But Alina tossed her engagement ring in his face. "Wedding's off. And I sold the apartment." The room erupted in murmurs. Max grabbed her arm, but Alina yanked free. "You lost," she said, walking out. That night, the gossip blog posted the story, "Cheater Max, How the Groom Betrayed His Bride for Years." It racked up thousands of shares. By morning, Max was fired, his friends ghosted him, and Alina vanished, learning he was broke. Alina sat on a plane to Bali, champagne in hand. She gazed at the ocean below, feeling the weight lift from her shoulders. She'd reclaimed her life, dismantling Max's lies. Her phone pinged with a message from her friend, "You're a queen." Alina smiled. She knew it. Max was left with nothing, no job, no friends, no money. His reputation was in ruins, while Alina became a legend. She didn't just get revenge, she showed cheaters pay. In Bali, she strolled the beach, feeling free. Her heart was light, her strength boundless. Alina had won, and this was her triumph.